What is up, everyone? Nick here. Welcome to the show if you're new. Thanks for coming back if you're not. If you have watched my channel before, you will know I have been extremely bullish on commodities and the electric vehicle industry for the better part of a year. A lot of our plays have more than 2x'd in that time. Shout out if you've been with me since the beginning and gone in on any of those plays, we've made a lot of money. Alongside the global turmoil currently tightening its grip on the economic and future well-being of markets, many investors have been moving to long-term commodity plays as risk-averse investment vehicles to retain value. Governments around the globe have been pouring trillions of dollars onto the market, diluting pre-existing dollars and potentially pushing up inflation in the coming years and decades. In previous times of market uncertainty and turmoil, we see a common theme play out almost every single time. This is rising inflation, devaluing dollars, and the rising prices of precious metals. In today's episode, we're going to be covering a very interesting under-the-radar gold, copper, zinc, and lithium mining exploration company that could greatly benefit from this fundamental shift. If you've watched my channel before, you will know just how bullish I am on the electric vehicle industry as a whole and battery-specialized manufacturing companies. What do all EVs require? That's easy. Some form of battery-producing power, and all batteries require precious metals in some capacity. This has put mining exploration companies into a very potentially lucrative space. Before we get to it today, check out our Patreon page. We have under the radar stocks, more content behind the scenes, and this also gains you access into our private Discord channels. This is where you can see all of my trades in real time. The chat is always popping off. There is great stuff in there. You do not want to miss out. Make sure to always come to your own decisions, formulate your own opinions. Don't just take my word for it because I'm saying it on the internet. Penny stocks do indeed come with more potential reward. However, this is typically paired with increased risk. Disclaimer, this is a sponsored video. I am not a financial advisor. Do your own research, gather as much information as you can, and do not allocate any capital to the market that you cannot afford to lose. Alright, without further ado, ladies and gents, let's get right into it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm first going to go over the company, who they are and what they do. I'm then going to go over where they see their business operations moving in the coming quarters, their business moves currently, and why their shares could potentially surge. I'm then finally going to go over their analytics, statistics, and charting. Alright, so the company of today's video is called Phoenix Gold, trading on the TSX-V under ticker symbol PXA and on the OTC or over the counter under ticker symbol PGRCF. Phoenix Gold is a mineral exploration and development company based out of beautiful Vancouver, Canada. Now, their stock has surged more than 1,400% in the past 8 months alone. And before we get into why there has been a sustained and extreme investor interest in this company, let's first get into what they do, what they project to do, and then we'll look at the trajectory of the minerals themselves. So what Phoenix does really well, in my opinion, is diversifying their exploration, both in terms of minerals and geographic location. They are building on past production assets in a number of locations. They firstly have an operation in Nevada, a location I've talked about many times, a hotspot and the world's most prolific gold jurisdiction. Nevada actually accounted for 76.8% of the total US gold production in 2018 and actually brought the US into the 5th spot in global leaders of gold production. Phoenix's current investment and business thesis is to exploit past producing mines, bringing the tried and true areas up to modern standards and expanding the resources to hopefully continue adding to shareholder value. This they have obviously been doing in the past year. Phoenix has 2 operations in Nevada with 50% ownerships, Eldorado and Plumes. They are using Nevada as a multi-directional project with plans of exploration, exploitation, sale, and spin-out. Their other main play is a mine in beautiful Newfoundland, Canada, the York Harbor property. This is going to become their main asset and main focus throughout 2021 and is a strong past producer of copper asset. They have just announced the acquisition of the coming drilling program, of which we'll get to shortly. Now, why I am so bullish on commodities and precious metals as of late is a dual-pronged investment thesis. On one hand, we see the prices of many commodities skyrocketing, nearing all-time highs, or in fact reaching record-breaking numbers. Now, this is largely due to the global health situation and the stimulus relief we've seen worldwide. With the $1.9 trillion stimulus relief fund recently passed and currently flooding the markets, it is well expected that inflation will escalate in the coming months, quarters, and years. We have seen bond bond yields also rising, and Jerome Powell, the Fed chair, may actually allow inflation to rise well past 2%, something I will be keeping a very close eye on in the next few years on my stock plays. Investors are looking for other sources of value to store their wealth. This is in large part why we saw cryptocurrencies and commodities like the tried and true gold surge throughout much of last year. We see gold now hovering in the low 1700s, coming slightly off that recent all-time high. We also see copper, zinc, and lithium surging last year as well, and this brings me to the second half of my bullish investment thesis on metals. We are seeing before our eyes the shift towards a clean, green, and electric future. With increased government incentives in the form of subsidy programs and under a Democratic Biden governance, we are expected to see electric vehicles continually increase in proportion to total vehicle sales in the coming years. All of these vehicles need metals in their component parts, especially in the most cost-heavy pound-for-pound portion of their makeup, their batteries. The global electric vehicle fleet today is less than only 2% of all vehicles on the road. However, this is expected to grow to a whopping 12% by the year 2030. It's important to understand that this number is only growing. In the year 2030 alone, there is estimated to be 30 million EVs produced. We are seeing this rapid growth accelerate in the EV epicenter currently, China, a region I've focused extensively on and see extreme upside in. The growing EV industry is going to attribute to an additional 15 million tons of copper required, with demand rapidly increasing as we continually move towards an EV-dominated landscape, and with supply remaining stagnant. This then puts pressure on the demand-supply scale. When this happens, we see prices escalate. We have seen copper already more than double in price, and as electric vehicles continue to surge in the coming years, this is expected to put more pressure on its price, which could drive the valuation up. It's important to remember that it doesn't just start and end with EVs only. Wind farming is set to just under triple over the next 10 years to 1,800 gigawatts, requiring 7 million tons of additional copper. We also see solar tech and clean energy becoming more dominant. Solar capacity is set to increase sixfold over the next 10 years to 3,000 gigawatts, requiring around 11 to 12 million tons of copper. If you know me, you know I am strictly a long-term investor. I position myself ahead of the curve and in industries before the major demand is actually there. This is an industry I see huge continued upside in. Going to their Newfoundland project, they have 5 licenses and 156 claims totaling 3,900 hectares. They have 11 zones of copper zinc enriched massive sulfides, which are highly prospective for exploration upside. This is a very old mine which was active from 1898 until 1913, and the company sees a lot of upside and potential left in between the zones. Their Phoenix Gold project in Nevada is targeting surface oxide mineralization and potential high-grade sulfides at depth. They are adjacent to big names like Newmont and Barrick. They have 2 patented claims at Plymouth targeting an outcropping high-grade gold system, and 1 claim at El Dorado. As always, whenever looking at a company, I like to analyze their management, and I do like what I'm seeing here. Andrew Lee is their CEO and director. He has been involved in junior miners for the past 15 years. He served on the board of companies on the CSE and TSX Venture. Sean Choi is their company's CFO. He has over 15 years experience in public accounting and mining industry. He has also served as the CFO of other miners. Roger Bear is the company's director. He has over 30 years experience of financial management in large and mid-sized multinational mining companies. The list goes on, a very experienced management team. We can see this intense interest in their share price. They're currently sitting at 47 cents Canadian with a massive 52-week delta, their low being just 1/10 of 1 cent and their high being 55 cents. They are a nano-cap company with a market cap of only 12.87 million with an enterprise value of 17.19 million, so a lot of room to grow here. They have a fairly small float with only 24.36 million shares, so when good news is announced, shares will typically surge. However, the same can be noted of the opposite. Insiders also hold a very decent portion of shares, which typically indicates trust. They own 31.12% of all shares. I really do think this is an interesting play. I am extremely extremely bullish on miners and specifically gold and copper plays currently. If you have been here before, you will know I am extremely bullish on EVs and clean energy for the foreseeable future. With the dual-pronged thesis of rising inflation leading to increased commodity prices and the increased clean energy takeover, I really do think metals will continue surging in the coming years. Anyways, everyone, thanks so much for watching. Check out our Patreon page. We have more content under the radar stocks. This also gains you access into our exclusive Discord channel. We have more than 1,500 members in there. There is a free version as well. I will put the link in the description. Remember to always come to your own conclusions, formulate your own decisions. Don't just take my word for it because I'm saying it on the internet. Do your own research, do your own due diligence. That is your duty as a smart investor. Anyways, I will see you all in the next video. Take care, happy trading, cheers.